Hey, Rick, we had Jason Alsup in here. I mean, you want to talk about a good comic guy and good storyteller? He is awesome.
He is awesome. He's a phenomenal real estate agent. He's a guru, and I thought it was interesting because he's in Indiana, but he also does Southwest Florida,
Yes.
and we've had a few on like that. But that I think that's a really interesting concept for an agent. I
Yeah.
think it's a really good thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, just to expand your brand and especially if you're looking at possibly wanting to try to do that, he talks about the way he does it, which definitely helps out him in his business.
Yeah. Well, he knows real estate and he knows, I mean, you can learn a lot if you're thinking of buying, selling, or you're a real estate agent, want to learn from, some of these gurus. He's a great guru to learn from.
Yep. So tune in to listen to Jason Alsop as he goes through his journey.
Welcome to Indy's Real Estate Gurus, your ultimate guide to the dynamic world of real estate in Indiana. And I'm Rick Ripma, your hardworking mortgage guy, and I've been in real estate and mortgages for over 24 years.
And I'm Ian Arnold, a loan officer on Rick's hardworking mortgage team, and we are both with Advisors Mortgage Group. Together, we'll empower you with expert advice, market trends, and successful stories from guru realtors and local experts.
Whether you're a homeowner, investor, or pro, join us as we navigate the thriving Indy real estate market.
Now get ready to unlock the doors of success, one episode at a time.
Today, we have Jason Alsup, and Jason is a huge producer. He's a guru, and we're really excited to have you on. Thanks so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. And we really want to get into it. So we want to find out, start with where you were, where'd you grow up, your before real estate life.
Okay. Nope. I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I grew up on the north side of Indianapolis, and that's where my parents' business was and everything like that. And then about middle of my 8th grade year, my folks with their business, they travel a lot, so they wanted to be closer to the airport. So they ended up moving their business in Ameriplex, which is down there off of Kentucky Avenue. And then we ended up relocating to Danville, Indiana. Okay. So middle of my 8th grade year, we moved out to Danville. Still finished up here at Eastwood Middle School. And then starting in my freshman year, ended up going to Danville. And graduated from Danville in 2005.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I went to Eastwood.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, you're an Eagle then. Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
I went to Eastwood too. Yeah,
yes.
I grew up about 56 in Emerson.
Okay, we were 62nd and Rural right by Glendale.
Oh, yeah,
and then their business was in the National City building off of 62nd and Keystone.
Okay.
Yep. So I'd get on my bike, ride it over to mom and dad's office, hang out with them. And then there was a little Fazoli's right off Keystone. So me and my friends would go there and get the breadsticks. Yeah, try to ground up as much change as we could to get some breadsticks.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it was funny to talk about getting change. I went with my wife to the Aldi's. And they were like, and I was thinking as a kid, there were 2 carts sitting there that somebody didn't take back. And there were quarters sitting in them. As a kid, I've been all over that.
Yeah, you struck it rich with 2 quarters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back in my day, 50 cents was a lot of money. So you did that. Did you do any jobs before real estate, or did you just go from school right into real estate?
No. So whenever we did live on the north side, I had my own little mowing business.
Oh, okay.
So it was our house, the neighbors, my dad's mom bought the house across the street. So I mowed all 3 yards.
Okay.
Like $20, $15-20. And then I was like, well, I'm missing out playing with friends and stuff by always mowing. So I saved up my money and was able to save it up and buy a little Toro riding mower. So I cut down my mowing time and just started. I picked up about 5 yards and that was, I guess, would be my first business right
All
there.
right, yeah.
Yep, so I was mowing about 5 yards at 10, 11 years old, right around there.
So you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I loved it. It was always fun. Yep, because then my parents, they raised us really well, me and my brothers. If we really wanted anything, they would help, but always about 50%. So I remember it was the Sega, whatever, first handheld. That was one of my big first purchases, and they went half in with me on that.
Wow.
Yes.
They invested too, huh?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So what was it that drove you into real estate?
To be honest, was my grandma. She always owned rental properties around the Lawrence area. That's where she lived. I think she had about 10 or 11 properties over there. So I was always around real estate. After graduating from Danville, went to IUPUI for a year. And to to be honest, I just didn't like school. I didn't like college. So I sat down with mom and dad and was like, hey, I just really don't know what I want to do with my life. And he was like, okay, well, you got this option. You can do this. Or what about real estate? So just really went full deep in at 19 years old, went and took the class up at the Pyramids with RACP.
Okay.
So took the class up there at 19 years old and got my license and dove right in head first. Didn't even dip the toe and went all in.
That's, it's a tough business to get going in.
Yes.
But it's really a tough business to get going in when you're 19 years old.
Oh yeah. Everyone's looking at me like a little young punk kid.
Yeah.
They're like, this is going to be the biggest purchase of our life. And what do you know?
Yeah.
Which I did have some great mentors. I got in right away with Remax. Gina and Anthony Marsiglio owned the franchise, but I had two great mentors with Joe Mead Rush and Jenny Rice.
Okay.
So they really helped me going in how to do a listing contract, how to do a purchase agreement.
Yeah. So what did you do to get going? Because it's like I said, it's tough, but 19, it's even, it's really tough.
Yes.
So what did you do? What was your process? What kind of things did you do to get going at first?
Open houses. Because all of my friends, still 19, 20, they're still in college. They're really not buying. And my grandma was dispositioning some of her portfolio. So I did have some of those listings that I was able to list and really get to know how that process worked in listing. But it was pretty much just open houses and meeting people there and just proving that I did know what was going on within the market.
Okay. So why open houses?
Why open houses? Because most of those people that are going to come through the open houses, they don't have agents. They just see it driving by, see the signs. They really don't know what they want or if they're really in the market. But once they come into the property, hey, we actually do like this, and they could have been renting or they do need to sell. So just come in, and I was able to really take that and move forward to build my database that way.
No, if a new agent is listening to this, is it still that way?
Yes, it is. No, and I love opens. Obviously, with the world, the internet and all the websites and everything. Yes, it's definitely changed. But what they see is, okay, there is going to be an open house. They might not want to talk to an agent yet or call one of their friends or something. So they are going to go through that property.
It's just interesting, especially with, like you said, with the technology nowadays and how many pictures that you put online and everything. Sometimes I can see people going, well, I don't want to go look at it, but I will tell you this right now. When I shop for houses, pictures make everything look great.
It is.
And then you walk in, you're like, oh, this house looks horrendous.
It does. And what is wild, and I've got my license out in Florida too, which I'm sure we'll touch base on, but I'm always used professional photographer. We've got iPhones, we've got cameras that can do all the things. I don't know how to take pictures. I know how to sell real estate, so I let the professionals do that, and that's what capture everything there. Mm-hmm. And it's just wild still I don't like talking bad, but some people still taking the pictures with their phone. It's only $100, $125. Let a professional do it.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to draw people there.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing to me, like Ian was saying, how different a house looks when you see it. But if you have a really good photographer, it's much more of what you see in the pictures.
Correct.
But like you and I were talking, I go to the car auction. Sounds like you're into the car auctions too.
Yes.
And you can see a car from 20 feet and think, that's a beautiful car. And you walk up on it, it's not a beautiful car.
No, it's got a lot of blemishes and everything. Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
The house can be the same way.
Yes, it is. Yep. Yeah. And whatever they do with the Photoshop, whenever you do go in, you're like, whoa, okay, that looks actually good there. But now we can kind of see the blemishes there.
Yeah. Now, how does an open house benefit the seller?
Really getting traffic through and honest feedback. So what we do, my team and I, we have an open house survey. And we just hand it to them right whenever they enter. Obviously, at the end of the day, we love to collect their information to put in our database, but it has in there, rate this house from 1 to 10. What stood out the most for you? What did you not like? What do you think about the price, the location, and everything from there? And that's information that we always provide to our sellers. But then also, if maybe every 9 out of 10 people that come through said, hey, we think the price is a little high, it allows that conversation to be a little bit easier with our seller. Hey, look, this is what we talked about the price first, but 9 out of 10 consumers that just came through think we're listed maybe 3 or 5% too high, and let's go ahead and lower that price. So it makes that conversation easier than just coming to the seller without any facts or data to give the seller.
Yeah. Now, do people, like when they're buying cars, they buy on payment?
Yes.
Do people buy houses on payment?
Yes.
I mean, I know they make payments, but yes. Do they, when they're looking at it, can they understand what $300,000 is, or are they more looking at what's my payment going to be?
It depends on what price bracket you're in, but I'm going to say definitely, obviously, for first-time home buyers, they're going to know what their budget is, especially after talking with you guys. Like, hey,
Right.
we're moving from renting. We're comfortable with $1,600 a month. What can we truly afford? And if they come through, they don't talk a lender. Hey, here's a list of lenders that we work with. Please reach out to them because they will help you understand what you can truly afford. So yes, a lot of people do come through as far as payments. Obviously, we've got variables, insurance, taxes, things like that. But yeah, I think a lot of people do worry about what their payment's going to be.
It feels like it on our end. That's why I asked. I don't know why I've never thought of that question before, but yes. I wanted to hear a top agent's response, because it seems like, for me, that's how I see it, but that's because that's what I do.
Yes. Yep. And I think there's some people too, they don't want to, what they call house poor. They don't want to have all of their money going towards the house. If they still want to go on vacation or anything like that, they're going to set their budget. That way they still have money to be able to do what they want with their family as well.
Yes. Yeah. Because we talk about finances with everybody, of course, and you see that. It's the ones that are always, not always the hardest, but the ones that can be difficult are the people who they don't do that. Mm-hmm. And they're like, whatever, I can afford it. And then it's a little struggle for them.
Yep. And I don't think people realize what the debt to income ratio, how you guys use it. They're like, okay, well, we can afford $3,000 a month, but after you guys go through their financing, really, we're looking about $2,200, $2,300 just because of how the process works.
I find that most people will go higher than they want to go.
Correct.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
most people that we can qualify them for more, but like you said, it's not just the purchase price of the home. The taxes make a difference. The homeowners association dues make a difference.
Correct.
Everything, all those things make a difference.
And that's what I can say. Probably over the last 3 years, I have seen property taxes obviously increasing over the board everywhere in the metro Indy area. So that is another big factor when purchasing a property.
Oh, trust me, my wife's an accountant and she does our taxes, and she looked at it this year and was like, are you kidding me? It went up again. I'm like, I told you this was going to happen for a few years.
Yes.
It was going to skyrocket.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, yeah, but still don't like it.
Yeah, but the value went up.
Yes.
Yep. I mean, the values are skyrocketing.
Yes. But you're still talking to an accountant when you got to pay something.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you got to look at both sides of the transaction, right? Both sides of the transaction matter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, none of us like paying taxes.
No, we get taxed all kinds of life. Yes.
So what do you see? You're in Indianapolis,
yes,
in Indiana, and you're in Florida.
Yes.
You're in Southwest Florida.
Yes, sir.
So what are clients different there, or is there what are there any different nuances as somebody, if like, I mean, anybody can be listening to this podcast, they're looking at Southwest Florida. What's the difference if somebody wants to go to Southwest Florida and buy a house?
I can tell you, Southwest Florida, I like to say the agents kind of work on island time. It's just slower. I'm one of the people, I want an answer now. Here's my offer. Can we get something back within a few hours? I mean, the way technology works with DocuSign, anything like that, we can get documents to our clients and back right away. It is a little bit slower. For instance, I'm actually going down there this week to close on a house in Cape Coral. And we wrote a good offer, and I said, hey, we want a response. We put it at noon. Can I get a response by 8? Well, I just don't know. I've got to go out. We're going shopping. We're working in the yard. This is the other agent. And I just don't know if we can get you an answer back by 8. This is on a $1.3 million home. I'm like, it's okay. I mean, this is Friday. It's still like a considered work day. Let's get it going. But it is. So if you are looking in Southwest Florida, just please know it does take a little bit more time to get things done. But down there too I deal with mostly on both sides of it. It's mostly cash buyers. It's people going second homes. They're coming from the colder areas wanting to move down there. Snowbirds.
Yeah. Okay. So what Rick is going to become in the next couple of years?
Yes.
I would become it now, but my wife won't do it. I'm always freezing now. I don't want to live in Florida full time, but I would like to live in Florida during the summer or the winter.
Yes.
And have it be decently warm.
Yes. Yep. And that's what it is. That's what we're seeing. A lot of people coming from the Northeast. You do have Canada and just a lot of northern states that are coming down for second homes.
Yeah. And prices there are going, last I saw, it may not be still, but it was the number one increase in market in the country.
It is. And we're shortage of listings down there too. I can tell you some of the sellers do time it right around to start listing about mid-January through March, just because that's when a lot of people are down there and starting to look.
Okay.
And open houses. So for instance, that house that I wrote an offer on, we didn't get it done before the open house, but we went to the open house. That way we could actually look at it again with the whole family, because my brothers do live down in Florida as well, so they did not have an opportunity. But there were people just coming through left and right. So open houses down there, but it's people just looking for friends, and that's what you see a lot down there in Florida.
That makes sense, because somebody's not there, but they want to get their friends down. My brother, my sister, and her husband, they ended up buying. This was a while back, but they did the same thing. His brother lived in a condo complex. So when a condo came available, he'd go look at it, and they bought one.
Yep. And that's what it is. And a lot of that is down there. And obviously, if your friends or family, you trust their opinion. And if you can't make it down there, and things do sell pretty quickly down there too. So you got to know what's going on.
Now, when you say Southwest Florida, now he's from Florida.
I'm from the Panhandle, though.
Okay.
Okay.
So where is Southwest Florida?
Pretty much from Sarasota down all the way through Marco and going through Alligator Alley. But I do have a team down there as well that does help me. Okay. So I have some agents that can help with buyers or listings if I'm not able to make it down.
Yeah. What's nice is it's only a 2-hour flight.
It's beautiful. And all the markets that I do help with my clients, they're direct flights.
Yeah.
So that's what even makes it better.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yes,
it's an easy place to go to.
Yep. And then I know my wife loves Arizona, but it's a longer flight, and they've got scorpions, and I don't like scorpions.
And last time I checked, there was no ocean.
Yeah, there's no ocean. Yeah, and I love boating. So yeah, I love golf too. There's a lot of golf courses, but scorpions, I just don't do scorpions.
Yeah, there's golf courses in Florida, I think.
Oh yeah. Yes, there are.
There's also some gators.
Yeah.
Walking or moccasins.
Minor detail.
Just saying.
And sharks. Yeah.
All right. So if somebody is looking to buy real estate or sell their house or move to Florida.
Yes.
What's the best way they can get in touch with you?
I would say my cell phone, which my direct number is 317-258-1399. And they can either call me, shoot me a text. I know we're in the texting age these days. I know you text me on Friday. So they can do either one, phone or call or text.
Yeah. That's 317-258-1399.
Yes, sir.
All right. Just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
I have a bad memory. I'm old. Okay, got to give me a break here.
No worries.
All right. So you have a team in Florida. You also have a team here.
Yes.
So you're also, are you looking for team members? If there's people out there, either, is there anybody, are you looking for that?
Yes, we're always looking to grow our team. And I know I kind of do it. I got to make sure it's a good fit. So that's how, if we bring on any team members, or like, hey, there's an agent that's maybe looking to join a team, that's fine. I'll do the first interview and just go over questions, just kind of see how the rapport is. And then I have them meet with my team. And I just let them do it. I don't even go. I said, hey, here's breakfast. I'll pay for everything, lunch or whatever it is. And then I let them meet with them just to make sure it's going to be a good vibe, because one bad apple can ruin a whole.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
So that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for good agents, building rapport, and are growth oriented as well.
Yeah. So how big a team do you have now?
We have 3 agents here in Indiana, and then I have 2 other agents in Florida.
Okay, so pretty good sized team.
Yes.
Yeah. And now some EXP agents have people all over the world.
Yes. Yeah. And that's how I'm set up too. So we have my own team, which is the Eclipse Realty Group, who is just strictly working with me. But then I do have my own organization, and we cover 6-7 states within the United States, and I don't have any outside of the world. But yeah, we're about 87,000 agents strong within the world.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. When I first joined EXP, I think we only had 8,000 agents, and the growth of EXP has just been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have a lot of friends that are EXP agents.
Okay.
All over the country, really.
Yes,
it's amazing.
It is, and that's why I moved there. I have nothing bad. I was with Remax for 12 years before I switched over. Nothing bad to say about Remax. It's just with me doing multiple states. It was just the best business move for myself and my team.
Yeah. It seems like a good model for the right people, right?
Exactly.
Everybody has the right spot, right? You got to fit and be comfortable, and
it is
like where you're at.
Yep, and it wasn't like a overnight decision. I mean, it was one of my old former team members, Carrie Spence and I. She was down in New Orleans for another big franchises event. I was down in Florida. I met with our sponsors, Rodney and Amanda Hurd. My wife actually came with me, and I was like, I value your opinion. Obviously, you're my wife. So we went, met with them, and then came back, did a whole pro and con, and then Carrie and I just decided the best move was for us to split with EXP.
Yeah. And it's Eclipse is your, which I love that name. How'd you come up with that?
Funny story. It was actually Carrie and I were golfing in Avon at Prestwick, where I used to live and golfed at. And it was during the last eclipse. And we were trying to come up with new team names and everything like that. And we had Hoosier Realty, but I also wanted to be in Florida, so it just didn't really make sense. And we just kept talking, and we came up with Eclipse. And it was a good friend of mine who does graphic design and put our whole logo together. And Eclipse Realty Group just stuck, which I know the Eclipse is getting ready to happen. I think it's this year.
Yeah.
And we're going to be right in the path of it.
There you go. Yeah, we are. They said a lot of people come here to see it.
Yeah. So I know like one of the main areas was down there at I know you got all your signs at the Corvette Museum down in Kentucky, but I guess the Indianapolis area is going to be one of the best ones to view it this year.
Yeah. So you must have some marketing plan for that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what is it?
I can't tell you.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I'm still working on it. Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Just stay away from sinkholes near that Corvette museum. Yeah. They don't need any more. That was crazy, though.
That was wild.
It was disastrous.
And then you watched them pull out those cars, and they're just like completely mangled, and like you could barely tell what they were.
Exactly, and it was sad.
It was sad because they were one-ofs.
Yes,
many of them.
Yep,
cars you can't replace.
No.
So I'm going to go to my favorite question.
All
right. So what would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
I would say building relationships and just getting to know my clients, building the rapport, which I know I've mentioned multiple times, just getting to know them, getting to know their needs and wants, and moving forward with that. I love building relationships. My wife will tell you I've never met a stranger. I just love talking to people and figuring out, and always do the frog method or Ford method or anything like that, just to really get to know them.
Yeah. So why do you think that's so important?
One, building trust. And just letting them know, like, hey, you can trust me, and getting to know everyone. And it's funny, as far as relationships in the business, there is a guy that I met when I lived in Prestwick who wanted to go into real estate, invest in real estate, which I started representing him. And now he's one of my best friends, was the best man at my wedding.
Really?
And I just met him starting with real estate. So, and now I actually talked to him on the way here. But that's what it is. It's just starting with just building a relationship, and now he's literally my best friend. Yeah, which is wild. I would have never thought about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's interesting when you actually first start doing what they call the Ford or a frog thing. It feels weird. But after you start doing it, you'll catch yourself. You'll randomly meet somebody, and you'll go through it all. Yes. And then they'll be like, man, these people really wanted to get to know me. It's just weird. But it works so well, especially in our industries.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You're just getting to know them, and it's to keep them talking.
Yes.
My daughter was in a volleyball tournament this weekend, and the other families, we never met the families, and I started talking to quite a few of them, and then found out she was in real estate. She manages over 1,000 homes for a big institutional buyer, and just going from there. And then met her dad and just started talking about he's in the construction side of things, and it was really fun just getting to know him.
Yeah, well, that's what's so. I think one of the great things about real estate is you really do get to know people.
Yes, and you figure out how to ask certain questions whenever sometimes people have a guard up and they just don't want to talk or anything. You just ask questions in different ways, and then you finally crack the egg, as I like to say, and then they finally open and start talking to you.
Yeah. So how do you do that? Because you're good at breaking through that. Mm-hmm. How would somebody get somebody to realize I can trust you?
I would say being a good listener and just picking up on things. So if they say they like to, for instance, go fishing, or that's what they like to do in their free time, just start asking, what kind of fishing do you do? Do you do deep water, lakes, backwater, and just start talking about it that way. And try to find some similarities, and don't make it all about you. Just keep asking questions about that.
Yeah, definitely don't make it all about you.
No.
Don't make it at all about you.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Another way to say it. Don't ever make it about you. It's not about you.
No.
The main thing, goes, what'd you say?
What was your name again? Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So We went through this a little quick, but let me ask you this. If I got to take away your phone for 24 hours, you cannot use it.
Yep.
Cannot work.
Okay.
What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I like it. It's really family time and golf. I can golf, and taking away my phone, that's perfectly fine, because I sometimes, whenever we're on vacation with the family, that's what I do. I let the team handle it. Unless it's an actual dire emergency, they know how to get a hold of me, but I put the forward email on, I put the voicemail, hey, going away. But I love golf and boating.
Nice.
And my daughter loves it, and so does my wife. So we do like to go boating when we are in Florida, but if I'm have any free time, I love golfing.
All right. Favorite golf course to play on?
Ooh, I'm a member here in Indiana at Hawthorns. That is one of my favorite courses, obviously local, but I would say the best course I ever played was Ravens 3 Peak out in Colorado.
Okay.
I've been able to play that one twice.
Is that the one that has a couple of ones where you're shooting really high off of elevation?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's out there. It's between Copper Mountain and Silverthorne. It's up in the mountains, and it's probably one of the most expensive courses I've ever played. But I even told all of our friends that haven't been able to experience, I would pay it just to drive it, just how beautiful it is. I mean, there was one hole, it's par 3. Yep, you're about 170 feet above. Going down, it's 170 yards, but you're using like a gap wedge, a 52 degree, just because of the elevation. And your balls do go a lot farther. Yes, they do.
Make it feel good.
It does. You're like, man, I really got a hold of that. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
It still counts. I don't care what anybody says.
Exactly. But no, it's beautiful. And I'd say another one here locally in Indiana would be Pete Dye down there in French Lick. We actually had my bachelor party down there, and we were able to play that one, and we all had a really good time. It's beautiful down there.
Are you a golfer?
No, my grandpa was. I tried to get into it, and I want to later, but right now the young kids, if I tell my wife, hey, I'm going to be gone for 3 to 5 hours, she's going to look at me and go, no, you're not.
And that's a good thing. My wife, she has picked up golf over the last 3 years. So she does come out. We like to play at least one night of the week, just 9 holes. And then our daughter has picked it up as well. So
Yep, well, you can do it with a family.
Yes, that's different.
Yeah, you got it made.
Yeah, but Thursday nights, they all know Thursday nights are my nights. It's when we have men's league. Okay. So we do that every Thursday night. There's anywhere from 100 to 130 golfers that we all get out there and play Thursday nights.
Wow.
Yes. And that's where I've met a lot of good people and new friends. So when I moved from Avon and moved out here to Fishers, where my wife was living, and I was like, I've got to have a place to go. So we looked at a couple country clubs and just found our new home at Hawthorns, and I've met a lot of great people, and that's what a lot of them are going down to Florida now.
Yeah.
But it's just riding along. They pair you up with random people, just that way you get to know the members at the club, and that's where it is.
Darn, they pair you with random people.
Yes, I know, which is awesome.
And you have a common interest, so you've got something to talk about.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And it is, and it's fun, and just learning from them too on how they've grown their business, or they've sold their business, or how their family is, and just little nuances on how things are going on.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. So with being here, and how do you manage your time? I guess that's really what I want to ask. When you've got a family, you've got real estate in Indiana, you got real estate in Florida.
Yes.
You've got a team in both places. So how do you manage your time?
It's a very great question. I do like that. And it's just really looking at the schedule of everything. Really here in Indiana, I only represent immediate family and really close friends. If anything else, I do refer out to the team members, just because I like to see them successful as well. And that's, they handle everything. They're great agents. They're seasoned agents. They know what they're doing. They do calls sometimes on how to do some verbiage and things like that. And it's just really figuring out when I've got a client that wants to go to Florida, and if I can't make it, I work it with them, but I try to be able to make it work. And I have a very understanding wife and daughter as well. Like, I won't miss any of their tournaments, with like I said, she's in volleyball and things like that. I won't miss those. So I just kind of tell, and people are very understanding as well. They understand family time and things like that. And if I can't make it down there, then the other agents do help me out.
Yeah, I will say, as being in sales a lot, the younger people, it's when you're talking to them and everything, the family thing is not there yet.
Yes.
But especially when you're talking about older people, especially people who are like we say snowbirds, if you go, hey, my grandkid has this, or we understand.
Oh yeah.
This is so, and it feels so much better for you as a parent, I will say.
Yep.
Because especially with COVID the last couple of years we had to deal with, and hey, I got to be at home, I got to do this. Oh no, we understand what's going on. What do you need us to do? And I'm like, I'm not used to this.
Oh yeah. And like you said, the grandkids, that's what obviously parents love their kids, but the grandkid love, that's a whole story. It is.
Yeah, they may not have done everything with their kids, but they're going to go to everything with their grandkids.
Oh yes.
If they're allowed to.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if they're close. Yeah. I have one grandchild. I mean, it's a different amount of time what you'll do, what you'll give up to go see what they're doing.
Oh yeah, and that's when you talk about. There's a guy, we were in a golf tournament, and he forgot that we had to continue playing on Sunday, so he actually voluntarily withdrew because he remembered he had to watch his grandchild on Sunday, and he's like, guys, I messed up. It was my problem, and I already committed to taking my grandson out, so I'm voluntarily withdrawing.
And you cussed him out. I know.
No, it actually helped me out and moved me on. So, yeah. Yeah, he smoked me, but with him withdrawing, I was able to play on Sunday. So it was all right. Yes.
All right. So with this whole family thing, let's get into what do you think some of the biggest misconceptions people have about real estate agents?
That we have a lot of free time. A good friend of mine too. He's like, yeah, it must be nice going to go do this on Wednesday, or you get a golf at Wednesday at noon. Well, guess what? I'm also showing houses on Saturday and Sunday. They think we have unlimited time and unlimited money and everything. Oh, well, you're doing really well. Well, okay. I still pay taxes. I mean, I've got marketing, I've got car, I do all of this. So that's, I think a lot of it is that we just have so much free time, and I'm still doing offers or counter offers at night when you're out with friends, maybe eating dinner, or you're doing this. So I think that's what a lot of the misconception is.
It's like that Steve Jobs and what's his name, Microsoft guy. But it's like, they're like, oh, they got it easy. Well, what were they doing prior? What, they were inside of a garage trying to figure out how to do a business?
Exactly.
How would you like to do that?
Yep.
And then, but you only see the success part. They didn't see you doing open houses every Saturday and Sunday, trying to get people to come in, making all the phone calls at night, because with our businesses, it's one of those things. We're not busy. We'll be busy during the daytime, but the busiest time is when people aren't working.
Exactly.
And that starts at 5 o'clock.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. So you could be showing property from 5 to 8, 8:30. Then you're going home. The family could be eating. Hey, I'll get back with you. I got to get this offering because we're in multiple office situation and got to get it done. Try to coordinate with the other agent. Hey, I just sent it over. So shoot them an email, shoot them a text, leave them a voicemail. Just that way, you know, they got it. So that's what a lot of it is just the misconception of time, I believe, is one of the biggest ones.
And you drive fancy cars.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Mine's a 2014. I got about 150,000 miles on her. So run her until the wheels fall off.
That is like being in the car business. That's one of the funniest things is when I got here and everybody's like, oh, realtors drive nice cars. I'm like, realtors don't want to drive nice cars.
Yes.
They beat those things all to hell and back, basically, and put so many miles on them.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I've had this one for about 5 years. I think I bought it when I had 25,000 miles on it. So I've put a lot of miles on there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like almost a certified truck driver.
They like to drive a nice car.
Well, who doesn't?
It's not the ridiculous, you're not driving Ferraris and those kind of cars, right? You're driving. No, what do you drive now?
I've got an Infinity SUV.
Yeah. So,
you and Rick are the same.
Yeah.
Pretty normal car, right?
Yes.
Well built.
Yep.
You know it's going to last a long time because you drive a lot, and it's not going to cost you a fortune to keep fixed.
Nope. And you can throw signs in the back. It's easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always had like SUVs after my first car, but I don't think I could have like a smaller car. I know you could fit signs in there, but it's just easy just to throw things in. I've got a rubber mat in the back. So if it's dirty, it's dirty. I don't care. I'll sweep it out next time I wash it.
Yeah.
So
now, do you carry, or customers go with you very much, or do they all now meet you at the houses when you're showing houses?
That's another great question. Whenever I first got in the business, they'd always ride with me. But now a lot of them like to follow. And what I always do, if we have multiple properties to view, I always give them a folder. I give them obviously MLS sheet, the disclosures or anything like that of each house. And I do like for them to follow now because it gives them a chance to have a conversation. And whenever we get to the next house, all right, I know you guys had a chance to talk. let me know. What are your guys' thoughts? Well, we really loved the location. We loved the master bedroom, but the kitchen just wasn't us. It didn't have enough upgrades. Okay. And then I jot that down because obviously I'm able to provide the feedback to the listing agent, but it just gives them more time to have a more open conversation.
It probably helps you find the right house.
Exactly.
It helps you narrow down the house, right?
Which I know this, I'm sure you guys have done it too, but I don't know why. If I'm listening to music or something and then you pull into the neighborhood, you turn the radio down. I still do. I catch myself doing that just to make sure I got the right numbers. So, yep, I still do that every single time.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, I don't listen to the radio at all. I listen to podcasts.
Yep.
I listen to audio books.
Yep.
But I don't know why. I rarely listen to the radio.
Mm-hmm. And I catch myself too, with the world of AirPods and your headphones in, I always have one in while driving. That way I'm not on the phone. But yeah, you're right. I've got a few podcasts that I do like to listen to as well.
It's weird.
See,
life's changed.
I just I tune it out, focus on the road, hands at 10 and 2. And
you are not being honest here.
Your driver's ed favorite student.
I've seen him drive. You don't want to be on the road when Ian's on the road. No, I'm kidding.
No. It just depends what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a fun time to fishtail around some of these roundabouts during the snow, I'm doing it.
Oh yeah. Well, tomorrow morning might be interesting. Or there's ice coming in. So,
yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah, last year we were supposed to get 15 inches of snow and got a half inch. I was ready to go. I had a snowblower ready and nothing even happened. Yes.
And you got an SUV.
Yeah.
15 inches, though, that's a lot of snow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Our main office is out of New Jersey.
Oh.
And they had a big snowstorm, I guess. And they closed the whole all their offices down in New Jersey. We have a bunch of them in New Jersey.
Okay.
So, yeah. But they don't get snow, I guess. So,
yeah, odd, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like a little snow. I don't like a lot of snow.
If it's going to be cold, I'd rather have snow.
Or if it's going to be really cold, I'd just rather be in Florida.
Exactly. Yeah. I hear you there.
You can help me out.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know. Yeah.
So you've been in the business for a while, and now you have a whole team, everything like that. So I'm kind of curious. Was it like 90% of real estate agents fail in the first 3 to 5 years? What do you find that? I mean, is there a certain reason, do you think?
I don't want to say lack of effort, but I would say really they don't have good mentors. And maybe what it is as well is they just I think the whole mentorship thing, and they just don't know how to break the stigma of not talking to people, get to know people. I would say if it was any brand new agent, I would go to a team, just that way you can get at least a good track record with the team leader of how they did it. But a lot of people just do the open houses. Now I will say, if you are a female getting, there are safety classes to go ahead and get those, but as well team up with another person and have them there.
Yeah.
Just for safety reasons, because there are a lot of weirdos out there.
Yes. I can't remember her name. We had one agent in here. She was a guru too. And she, just knew the person's name, showed up at the place. And then she said there was 4 or 5 big guys that got out of the car. And she's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Yes. And so she let them all into the house. And then the other agent showed up and he's like, oh no, these are pro football players and stuff. And then her guard got let down a little bit. But at first she was like, what am I doing here?
And I can get it. And if you feel weird on any situation, have them meet you out in office or Starbucks or something before you go, hey, I just wanted to go over our list again and go over it that way. Cause like I said, if it doesn't feel right, most likely it's not right. And always be safe. And there's even times I've met with people that they're seasoned investors. I really can't figure them out. I can't find any other properties. I'm kind of like a PI. If you tell me you've done things, I figure out, okay, you're into Indiana business. Okay, I found your company. Then I'll do a big search on how many properties. You said you own 30. I haven't found one in the Indy metro area. So, all right, let's just go ahead and meet at the office and then go from there.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do your due diligence. Because not just your safety, but past that is your time is money. Yes. And if you spend 2 days showing all this guy all his houses and it turns out he can't buy.
Yep.
What did you do?
Yep, exactly. And I'll always meet with someone first, maybe show them a house, which I know a lot of people don't like doing it, get a pre-approval first. But if I get to them, I actually feel like it's okay. All right, now you said you are good to go. I need the pre-approval letter. So send them to you guys, let you guys do, obviously, your process, go through some of the initial underwriting and go from there. But I know we kind of backtrack. But as far as new agents, that's why I say is open house and put your database together. and just reach out. Newsletters. I know you can even do videos now on YouTube and all of that, and just get out there. We're all going to stink at first. And it's okay. It's better to have something out there than nothing. And then you're going to get better and you're going to progress down the road.
But even if you're going to stink at first, so even if you sat there and you did 20 videos,
yes,
and didn't put any of them online, you're going to be a lot better on number 21.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. You don't have to, you can, like, it takes no time at all to do a video. It does when you're first starting, but it doesn't really take very much time to do a video.
Correct.
You can easily do it very, very quickly. They're easy to edit now. So there isn't any reason not to, and practice it. Just it kills me how people won't practice.
Yes.
You know, they'll practice their kids. They'll make their kids practice for 3rd grade basketball.
Yes.
But they won't practice what they do for a living. I don't get it.
And that's what a lot of Amanda and Rodney, who were my sponsors within EXP for one of my senior partners, and that's how their team really got a lot better. I think you had Just Stack on here. He was on their team. Now he's got his own team, but that they did a lot of role play and just figuring out how that goes, and just throwing out ridiculous objections and going from there. And that was a good, very good learning.
I will say, as a salesperson, I hate role playing.
Yes,
but as a salesperson, I love role playing.
Yes.
I just hate going through the process because you learn the tidbits. So I might overcome something like this, but then I hear you say something and you'd be like, wait, that sounded a little bit better. I should say it like that.
Yes.
And especially in the car industry, you do a lot of that. And it's just one of those things that over time, you just get used to. And if you do it consistently, it's not out of the norm.
Yep.
And like you said, if you got the right teammates, you don't have people running off and hiding during the time, but you hire the right people, it makes it easier.
It is. And like you said, it almost comes human nature.
Yep.
Well, I don't want to talk to a lender because I already know what I'm approved for. I understand that, but we need to go ahead and get this done, because as soon as we find that property, they're going to request to see the pre-approval letter. Yep. So if that takes them 24 hours, boom, your offer could be gone because someone else came in with a pre-approval letter.
Yeah. And on that, this is kind of one of the things that I just don't understand why people do it. Okay. It takes some time to do a proper pre-approval letter.
Yes. Right?
Not for everybody. Sometimes you can get it done in a few minutes because everything's perfect.
Yes.
But if anything is not perfect, if there's something on the credit you didn't expect to be there, so a lot of credit bureaus have erroneous information.
Yes.
50% have erroneous information. But you're better off doing it ahead of time. And in my opinion, what we prefer to do is do a full underwrite on the pre-approval. So what is the benefit? And that takes time. It means we have to gather all the documents. But what do you see as a benefit of doing of sending in an offer with a human underwrite pre-approval? Is there a benefit there?
Yes, because you've already pretty much gone through, like you said, the beginning process. You've already verified their last 2 years' tax returns, their bank statements, their employment, or anything like that. And that is, obviously, whenever you finally get an offer accepted, you're going to go back through underwriting. They're going to ask for whatever information that they need. But you've already verified everything. And that's what it is. The other agent, as long as they know what they're doing or they have a good mentor, they're going to know, hey, this is an actual pre-approval. It's already gone through underwriting. We know Rick. We know how he works. We know Advisors Mortgage Group. We're good. We already know they already went through this. We're good to go.
Right.
And as long as I always like to work with local lenders as well, because the other agent's going to know, hey, they're right here in our backyard. We've worked with them before. We've seen their their letters before. We know they're good to go. Obviously, you've got some bigger banks out there, a lot of online banks. And whenever I do get an approval letter, I'm like, okay. And I kind of let my sellers know, hey, it says 30 days. Most likely it's going to be 45. I'm not talking bad. I've seen this before and this is what's going to happen. But if we get one at the local lender, hey, we are going to close on time.
Yeah. I mean, that's smart for you because look, all our job is, and yours and ours, is getting through hurdles.
Yep.
Well, guess what? If you already know certain hurdles are going to come automatically when you go through a certain lender, and we all know those lenders, but I'm not throwing names out. But why not get rid of that hurdle early and
Correct.
be like, hey, look, if you want to stay with him, great. But hey, look, but just so you know, there's going to be 2 more hurdles that we got to get over there.
Yes.
Or we can go this way and we eliminate those 2 hurdles.
Yep.
So
correct. And then I know like a lot of the bigger banks, hey, we'll give you an eighth of the point off if you use us because you're already banking with us. And that's what I tell them. Ask whatever lender you're talking to, see if what the best rate they can do.
Yep.
Sometimes they just don't ask. And if you don't ask, you don't know.
Yep.
So always ask them. And if they can have the same rate, if not even beat it, all right, why would you not go with them? They're local. They're going to get it done. And you have almost a better chance of getting your offer accepted.
But an eighth off of what? See, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've had this happen where, I mean, my rate already beats them by more than an eighth.
Yes.
Right. I'm already better than they are.
Yes.
And then probably the biggest frustration I hear from people going to another lender and coming to me is that the other lender won't get back with them in a timely fashion. It drives people crazy.
It is.
And so I think it's important. But on the pre-approval, I think, the human underwrite pre-approval, as you said, basically we have to get an appraisal.
Yes.
We have to have an acceptable purchase agreement, and nothing has to change, and you're going to close on the loan.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
You don't have to do anything else.
Yes.
My underwriters we're going to get everything. My underwriters already approved it.
Yes.
Right? Subject to those things. So as long as that all stays the same, you get all that, they're going to be fine. I just think that's better. I just think prospects need to understand that. People who are looking to house, home buyers need to understand it, and home sellers, because it helps them if they just do those things up front. And I get a lot of people who they just don't want to do it up front.
Yes.
That's fine, but it's not as good a pre-approval.
Nope. Yeah, you got obviously the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval there.
Right.
Yep.
Pre-qual, okay, you told them what you did, but they haven't verified anything.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I told you I made $1 million a year and I'm good to go. Okay, here it is. And then find out you only made 300. So now you don't look very good.
You forgot our question of the week.
yeah, that's all right. We'll get to it.
it.
We're going to get to it. Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
But that's the way I try to tell people when they talk about it, what's the difference between a pre-call and a pre-approval? Well, a pre-call is like you get a credit card envelope in the mail. It says you're pre-approved for this.
Yes.
You're technically
pre-qualified.
You're technically not approved yet.
Yes.
They're fishing.
Yes.
Yes. Open another line. Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do the question of the week.
Uh-oh. Okay.
What was your first car?
Mine was a Mercury Mystique.
Woo, a big one.
No, it's almost like a Ford Taurus.
Oh, okay.
It was a lady that worked in my parents' office. Her name's Diana, and she was going to get something else. So that was my first. It was maroon. I think it was a 96, 97 Mercury Mystique, and kept it for about 3 months and realized it was a whole thing. Trunk. I was in sports, football, baseball, basketball, and didn't have a lot of room in there, which of course I had some speakers in there, young kid. Just not a lot of room, but I had it for 3 months and then went to an expedition. Yep. I worked on the farm during the summer with my neighbor. He was a farmer. So I worked with him and baled hay, took care of all of his properties. And then that's when I was able to save up and get the expedition.
Yeah. Expedition is a lot bigger.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And it found out too is you drive your friends everywhere because you had one of the biggest cars. So we'd go anywhere and everywhere. And I was the one that was always driving. Yeah.
Which I'd feel safer that way. That's just me.
Yes.
Yeah. You could probably put your Marquise in the back of that
Oh, yeah.
expedition.
All right. So we like stories. So I want
Okay.
to hear a good one before we have to cut you off. So what is one of your most memorable transactions?
I'll give the bad one. I was a very good client of mine. He was an investor and he was actually a chiropractor of mine. And I did a lot of his investments. And then him and his wife were looking to go ahead and buy another property. I can't give you the area because it's a very small town where I'm from. We went in there and Mrs. Seller, unfortunately, was a divorce situation. Mrs. Seller was just nuts. And I had the inspector go through. Needless to say, she called the police department and accused the inspector of stealing a diamond ring, accused my client of stealing $50, called the police department, who my dad was very good friends with the chief of police. He called me, Jason, just going to let you know, this is like the 4th time we've heard this, even from other showings. And we actually got the deal done, obviously doing the inspection, But then within it, we had to give her 30 days possession after. So my clients were worried about it, but we had money set in escrow. And I was going to do the final walkthrough. And I was going to go, and she said that she was going to be there. My dad and his background and me still, I think I was only 22, 23 at the time. He was like, nope, you got to have a buddy go with you. I was like, okay. So I called one of my friends, hey, I'm going to take you out to dinner, but I need you to go with me. We got to video everything too, just to make sure we're okay. And she came out, met us in the driveway, and she was like, well, who's this? What's your name? He goes, that's classified. And needless to say, we went through the whole property. It was, I gained some of these gray hairs from that transaction. Went through, everything was fine. He got the property the next day, but she still took mirrors off the bathroom after we had already done the walkthrough and everything. It was unique. And then after we got done, he moved. He was cool. He's like, it's fine. We're going to redo the mirrors. And then she reached out to me 2 days later to represent her to buy a property. I respectfully declined. But that was probably one of the most unique ones that I've had. It was weird. Yes. But we got it done. Yes.
And that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was, I was 22. Yeah, it was about 12, 13 years ago.
So did you have to hire any other bodyguards since then?
No, I haven't. No, I honestly don't think so. Yeah, that was the weirdest one. And the worst part about it is I knew the other side of the family as well, but they were helpful through the whole thing. Like, Jason, trust me, our family is not like this. This is the other side. So
that was smart to have somebody there, because you don't know what what somebody's going to accuse you of.
Exactly.
You need somebody there to show you didn't do whatever they accuse you of.
Yep. So that's that. I could say there was, and my parents' background is law enforcement and things like that. So he's seen these things. So he's like, buddy, go ahead and take a friend with you, because we don't need anything going on that route. Yeah. So
no, that's good. All right. So there's a lot of people out here who just listen to you.
Yes.
And they need your knowledge.
Okay.
So whether they're buying, selling, looking for a team, want to talk real estate, want to move to Florida, or want to just go golfing with you.
All right. I like it.
What's the best way they can reach you?
Cell phone, 317-258-1399. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Like I said, give me a call, shoot me a text. If I am golfing, I won't answer, but I will shoot a text back depending on what we're doing. But yeah, that is the best way. And then if email, Alsup, exp@gmail.com. But I'd say the best way is 317-258-1399.
Awesome. And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can give us a call at 317-672-1938. It's 317-672-1938. And please follow us for more Indy's Real Estate Gurus.
A reminder, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, or refinance, let us know. We're more than happy to help you. Hey, Jason, thank you for joining us.
No, thank you guys. And this is my first podcast, and you guys are awesome.
Yes.
Yes, so thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Branch NMLS number 33041. Rick Ritten's NMLS number 664589. Ian Arnold's NMLS number is 1995469. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions apply.